Okay, let me share my screen first. So today what we'll be doing is we'll be understanding React and do small application in in Redux in React, which is extremely important from interview point of view as well as for working in the company also. Redux, understanding Redux properly is extremely important. Okay, we'll just give a brief about what is Redux and then we'll go to the project. Let me close everything. Okay, first of all, what is Redux? So I made some notes over it. Redux, it's a state management system for cross-component or app-wide state. What is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is if you open a e-commerce website like Myntra or Amazon or Flipkart or anything, you do something. Suppose you are buying something, you go to the home page, click on the product, maybe click on the item, you check out all the content in the item, and then you click on buy or something, right? So when you click on buy, your cart will be updated, right? That means there is one okay, let me open and show you directly. Hmm? uh, Let me open Amazon. Okay, so in Amazon, suppose I like some product. Okay, maybe I like this one, so I'll click on this product. Okay, and this is simple example only. Okay, if I click on add to cart, what happens? It goes to the add to cart, and in the cart that, okay, I have to log in. If I would have logged in, it would have gone to the cart, right? Here the one item will be there. Okay, and when I went from the main page, okay, when I this is the home page. Okay, when I clicked on this, you saw the data that when I clicked on this only, observe carefully, it went to this particular product. That means it identifies which item you have clicked, and based on that, it will show the item. Now, this can be done through routing also. So during routing, but routing will not give you, it is, for creating larger application, routing will not help you. You can pass data through the routes also. Okay, based on that, you can do an API call and fill everything. But Redux, what it does is that it keeps the data across the application. That means if you have some centralized store, right, from where we have data related to everything of this application. Now, if the data is divided across two different pages, then you can use the data instead of doing the API call again and again. You can use it multiple times anywhere. So kind of think that it is like a database for the front end system. This much clear? Basic example. So
Yeah, when you say database, you mean to say that it stores the activity, right?
it stores anything and everything. Whatever you want to store, it can store.
Okay.
I showed you two examples. One is I clicked on the cert on the item. That item value, my cart was 0 and the cart should have been 1. If I would have increased, if the quantity is 1, if I would have increased to 2 quantity, the item will be 2, right? Like this. So after going to the cart, if I want to increase this, there will be plus icon. I have to click on the plus icon, the quantity will be 2. So now how it is happening immediately? This is happening immediately, right? Do you think that when I click over there, I mean, it does API call and gets data so fast? No, right? How it happens immediately? I click on something, it goes to the store, it updates the data, and then it fetches the data and shows to you. Not only at that place, it can show at any other component also, any other place also within the application. If I go and want to show the same, product or the same value, it will be visible. For example, I'll just open Excalibur and I'll show you. Yeah. Basically, uh, see now, so this is your store, okay? I'm just creating one simple. This is your application, okay? Maybe one that, for example, okay? Now this in Amazon, maybe there is a cart page, okay, where we are having the, whatever you have bought it, all those things are there. Now maybe this is the items page, okay, item details, because we are in the item details. Okay. Now in the item details, what happens is that I click on a buy button. So when I click on buy button, what will happen? That information from item details will go to the store. Okay. From here to it will go to the store. Okay. So I'll just write here what are the details it can go. And just in the object, it can go price, okay, quantity, okay, how many items, price, quantity, all these things. What else? Maybe item ID, right? Then maybe details of the item, whatever. All this information will go to the store. Okay. So in the store, there will be something called, this information will be stored in the store. And when I am clicking on the cart icon, that this information that has moved to the store, the same information can come back to here, right? Now this information, so originally the store might have some default value, like maybe it might have total quantity, okay, total price, right? Mostly it will be having the and item ID, not item ID, but this is the by default. I mean, in the store, in the central store, this particular value is there. Now this value has come, so these two will be there together, and when in the cart, all this value will be available over here, right? That means when we move to the cart, what we see? We see, if I just move to the cart, you just imagine we move to the cart, then what we will see? I will see the item, okay, with item ID, what is the description, price, quantity, okay, all these things. Along with that, I'll have the total items, if any, if multiple items we have bought, as well as the total, right? This much clear?
Yeah.
Okay, that means this information has passed from item details to the store. Store has kept it, and when I move to a different component, that is cart, here I get this information as well as this information combined together. I get not only here. Suppose I have another component. Maybe I'll just have. Let's think about. Think about another feature where I want to see this particular information. Payment, okay, payment gateway, or maybe payment will be a feature. Now in the payment feature, what I need information from the store to the payment functionality. So what the payment feature needs? The payment feature needs what it needs. It needs the first of all, the total price. Okay. Then what we need? We need maybe payment gateway, how we want to pay, right? And maybe the address might not need, but yeah, I think these two we need, right? Total price and payment gateway. And obviously, along with that, I can have access to the item, everything related to item and the item ID, description, everything I need, right? I can get all this information because there will be photo in that, all the description will be mentioned, right? Understood this example? So I just made change in the item details only, but I can access the same data in payment as well as in the cart, or as well as every other place that I need this data, whatever I am buying. Understood? Maybe there will be one more feature, like I was saying, maybe the address, right? Address, okay. So address might need what information? What information might address need? Address might need the information related to, uh, the PIN code of the customer, right? And what is the item the customer bought, quantity, all these things will be there, right? Correct? Both of you are understanding? Yes, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Understand, right? So in one Amazon application, there are one, two, three, four features are there. At one place, I just made change in item details. I could access the same data in payment, in address, in cart. If I change something in the cart, suppose the number of items are two. I don't want two items. I want only one item. Then I will just click on the minus button in the cart. So that information will go to where? Again, the store, right? Again, the store it will go. And that information we can, so suppose from the cart, again, you are coming to the item details. So in the item details page here, the quantity two might have been there, but now the quantity should be two, right? Sorry, one, right? That means it is fetching the new information. Correct, right? That information is coming from cart to store and store to again item details. So that item details also get the latest value. Understood now? Clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is how our Redux, not only Redux, there are Justand is there, there is, I think Flux is there. There are a lot of other state management libraries, and everything does the same task only. They manage the state of a big application. For big application, we need it. In Office, we always work in state management. Okay, Redux.
So in backend, what is Redux made of actually? I mean, how it is maintaining the state?
How it is maintaining the state is there are certain browser APIs using which it maintains it. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, earlier we were using local storage to do it. Local storage has 5 MB of data, right? Maximum, so that you can store in the browser. But this, I think it uses memory, exact memory it is using, and through that it is storing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there is no database kind of thing that we need for this. Okay, just we need to install some libraries, Redux Toolkit, React Redux, and Redux. Okay, and they access the computer's memory, and they do it. Okay, that is how they do it. Understood, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So a state management system for cross-component or app-wide state. That is one thing. What is state? First of all, data which when changed should affect the UI. Okay, state of the application. There is a two different thing. What is state? What is store? Okay, state is related to data, and store is a physical manifestation of the word state. State is nothing but the data, and store is where we have the data, right? I mean, there is nothing like a database storage kind of thing where they store the data. It is just representing that, okay, there is something like a storage kind of a mechanism where we have the data. Kind of how we need to explain the concept. Okay, but state represents the data. Okay, there is something called local state. Local state means state belongs to a single component. Okay, that is if you are working on a small application which doesn't have more features, more than two or three, like small application, very small, then you might not need Redux in that case. Okay, but if there is a large application like more than 5 6 features, then the feature and the functionality will also increase in complexity in later, right? In that case, you need Redux. Okay, so local statement, state related to a particular component only. For example, I'm having this component, maybe the okay, let me open, maybe this particular component is there, cart component. Okay, so some cart item JS. Now this component I have created, right? And I can create a use state, and I can store all the data related to this particular component in that use state only, right? Very easy. I'll just let me write use state, but it's not importing like this. Very slow. This will be small or capital? I think this will be React small. This will be React capital, is what I remember. You have to have this used it like this, right? Or maybe other use it or whatever. Now you can store this cart item related all the data inside a state, use state, right? So for that, what we do? Simple, just create a variable, maybe something related to this. Carts, maybe cart I will create, right? And set cart. Okay. Where using set cart we can change the update the state like this, and maybe some uh, initial state, some data we can give it. And this initial state can be a variable here, and which can have the data. Initial state equal to something. Car number is 0, for example. Okay. Now here, this is the local state of this particular component, and I can change it anywhere. So if I want to just change something on clicking on something, I can just change I can do set cart as 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever. So local statement, state related to a particular component. Okay. And cross component statement, state affecting multiple components, means I change something in this, maybe a click button is there in this cart item component. If I click here, it should have a change in another component. Okay. So before Redux, how we were doing it? Before Redux, how we were doing it is we have to, pass the value from this component to another component using props, right? So using props, we were doing using context API, we were doing. Now, how we were using props? See, this cart item is a child component of a parent. So in the parent, something happened. In the cart item, they pass through props, they pass those values, and we'll get that values over here, and then we can use it. That means they are passing the title, quantity, total price at the parent component. So from the parent component, data came to the child component to the props, right? Or you can use context API. If the components are not related as parent or child.
One question, Sarath. So yeah, that props, that variable holds the state of the this thing, right?
What?
That props variable holds the state of the program, right? Before it is passed to that cart item, this thing.
No. Doesn't have it stays. There is a difference between what is a state and what is a props.
Okay.
See, state change will not re-render your component, but props change will re-render your component. Okay. Props is just can is a variable or a container through which you can pass data from parent to child. That's it, nothing else. Or child to parent.
Okay. So if I mean, what is the parent now here?
Some parent, XYZ, whatever. This cart item is the child. From the parent, something has
Yeah. I
happened.
mean, in this example, I'm asking cart item is the child. So which is the parent?
Irrespective of that, irrespective of which is the parent, we have to understand that using props, we can pass data from parent to child or from child to parent. That's it. There is no other role of props. If components are not related from as parent or child, maybe they are related as siblings, or maybe they are not related at all. In that case, you can pass data using context, or you can pass using some services. Okay. That is the 2-3 ways of passing data between components in React if you are not using Redux. Okay. But now, since we are using Redux, we can pass data without. So props will create a lot of problems, because when you change props, your component will get re-rendered, right? So you have to use memo to prevent the re-render. Then there is some use callback is there, which will prevent the, which will do something. And then there is use transition is there. There is something, so many hooks were there to manage the unnecessary behavior. In use effect also you have to do something, right? You have to remove the subscription and all those things. So to avoid all these problems, if you do your data transfer between components through Redux, then it will be a great approach and that will not have any side effect. Understood? Clear now? Everything now? Yes?
Yeah. I mean, somewhat clear, but yeah, still some doubt is there
What
actually.
doubt is there?
This thing, what is that? I just wanted to know in this example, I mean, it is like a function call, is it? I mean, you call like a function and pass it to the child, is it? The props, the container.
Okay, you want to see from where it is. So this is a cart item. Okay.
Yeah.
So this cart item, let me search it. I think this will be okay. This is a very good, very big folder, so might not get the cart item will be there. I think, yeah, cart right will be this. Need to check exactly where I have written it here. This is card. Okay, so same thing. I mean, you see there is a product item over here. So this is a child component and its parent is a product.js file. So products is the parent component and product item is the child component. To the child component, I am passing title, price, and description in the props. Okay. So in the product item, I get the values in the props, title, price, description, and I can use it. Understood now?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So from if it is treated as parent and child only, you can pass data either from parent to child or child to parent using props. Using context API, you can pass from if they are related, if even if they are not related as parent to child, if they are related in a very top level, it is there. From top level to bottom level, if you want to pass through context API, you can pass it. Okay, or maybe prop drilling also you can do it if there is a very minimal level of form. Sujit, are you understanding?
Yes, Anat, I'm getting
So
props.
props.
I have understood. Yeah.
Okay. Props drilling, context API. These three things we know, right? The fourth thing is Redux. How to pass data between components. Okay. Simple.
Oh.
Uh, Local state I explained what is cross component state API. So it requires props drilling. So we use context API. Okay. Now app wide state is state affected the entire app. The example that I saw, right? The Amazon example. So that state will affect entire. So in one component, I change something, entire application, some functionality there, it should get updated. In that case, no context API will work, no prop drilling will work, no props will work because it is too complex. And if those components are not related to each other, it is very, very difficult to pass data from one component to another component. Very difficult because there can be thousands of components. How will you pass data from between one component to another component? It's not possible, right? So in that case also, I'm just telling you the use cases why Redux is a better approach than our prop drilling or context API. Okay. Now they have given example of user authentication. So if there is a feature where you are authenticating user and the user does something, in that case, so right now what I showed in the Amazon I went, I directly tried to buy a item. When I clicked on going to the cart, it said that you have to authenticate first. So then how it is knowing that I have not authenticated, right? That means in that store, they are expecting some data, some I mean, as a user, I don't have that, credentials and everything that they are checking locally also. They do, it's not there. That's the reason they are saying that you have to do a sign in or sign up, right? That is all the benefits of, using Redux. Okay. Now, when you come to Redux versus React context, so problems with context is complex setup and management. That is what I'm saying. So deeply nested providers, difficult to maintain, all these things are there. So that means, so if you go to, so you can see any example in YouTube or any other course, or maybe in my course also, I've given very nice examples, right? So if you see any, in YouTube, any video related to context API, what they will be doing is that basically how the context API works. You have to create a bunch of providers. So one provider inside another provider like this. Because only when you, first of all, you have to create a context at a component level, at a high level, and then wherever you want to pass that component, you have to keep within a provider, and then you have to pass the data. That is how, if you remember correctly. Just see one video in context, if you will understand what I'm trying to say. Right now, if there are components which are child inside child, then how many providers will be used? So many are, right? So it will be very difficult to manage all those things. That's the reason we have to use Redux. Okay. Now, second is performance. Obviously, if React content is not optimized for high frequency state changes, that means frequent state changes, so many users will be using simultaneously. In that case, also, context is not a good approach. Okay. So that's the reason we have to use Redux instead of context. One is setup complexity, and then there is optimization. These are the two different reasons. Okay. Now, how Redux works is central data store. I said everything. Central data state or store, maintain the state data. Okay. The component subscribe to the state or store whenever the state. Okay, I've written very nicely. I just have to just read it out. Very simply I've written. Okay. The component subscribe to the state or store to the state. Whenever the state updates, components get a new copy of it, and so the data displayed to the user updates. Okay, that is what I say. So I say, what I said is, in Amazon, I basically, if I change something in the item details here, the state here also changes. So every functionality that I read related to it, one slice of state will be there. So this state will be for entire application, but for every functionality there will be a minor state will be there, minor slice of state will be there, or maybe what I can say, a separate object for item details, a separate object for payment, a separate object for address, separate object for card, like this will be there. But in the store, everything will be available. That means any component can access data related to any other component. Okay. Payment can get access to address, payment can get access to cart, payment can get access to data of item details inside the store, because the centralized store will provide access to all the functional components. Okay. That is what I've written over here. Now, component don't directly mutate the state in the store, it's done by the reducer. Means you can't directly change the, I'll just explain in the code. When I write the code, I'll explain you can't directly change the data inside the store. That means I have a data related to this particular item number 1. I have some data related to it. For example, the quantity of item number 1, right? If I just click on a plus item somewhere, the quantity increases. So I can't just remove the previous data and replace it with new data. Directly I can't do it, because you can't mutate the state. If you mutate the state, what will happen? If you mutate it, since it's an object by reference, every place it will get mutated. It means the value will be changed. But directly we can't do it. Always have a copy and do it. Okay, I'll explain everything while I'm doing it. Okay. Now, component don't directly mutate the data. I explained this reducer function. Now, general concept, every reducer function is taken input, modify it, and given new. So this I'll explain while doing it. So I'm just checking what else is remaining. Okay, I think everything is okay. While doing the coding part, I'll explain all the other stuff. Okay, clear it? Little concept is clearing it. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
now what we'll do? Don't need this. Don't need this. Okay. And I don't need this also. Okay, now see this application. So what is this application all about? Okay, so right now you see that this is a simple application, card application only. There is some so when I click on so there is a shopping cart details, whatever I have bought till now, and then there is the product that I bought. Okay, now so what I want is, first of all, what we'll do is, this I don't want to show it. I will show this only when I click on the my cart, right? So this entire thing is not there in a single component. These are all different components. My cart is different component. This is a different component. This is a different component. And since if I click on my cart, then only then only I want to show this particular component. Else I don't want to show. Okay. So without Redux, how we could have done is maybe simple show hide kind of a structure. But show hide will work only when that particular component is there in related to parent child. If they are related as parent child, then only in the props you can pass. If I click over here, you can pass true or false or whatever. Then you can show or hide. If they are not related, these two are not related as parent and child. In that case, what we'll do? We have to use Redux, right? Understood now why Redux is used here? Yes or no? No?
Yes, yes, Ananta.
Okay, I'll just
Yeah.
see. This cart item is there, right? Now cart item is there where? Cart item is there inside the cart component. Okay. And this so in the card, this card is there. Card, yeah, not UI. I think. So okay. So in the product, see, product is a separate. See, shop is a separate folder. Cart is a separate folder, and cart and shop are not related at all. Okay, they are linked in the app.js. If I just open the app.js, you will see that the cart is a separate component altogether. Product is a separate component. They are not related to each other. Are they related to each other? Are they in a parent-child relationship? No, right? Is cart and product in a parent-child relationship? No, they are just siblings, right? Here, then how will you pass information from cart to products? Any idea? So because this cart inside the cart component, this particular my cart is there, and inside the product component, imagine that this part is there. Okay, so how to pass data from one component to other component if they are not related to each other? How to do it? There are three ways. One, yeah, so tell me.
Yes, yes, through Redux only we can pass.
No, because they are not related, now how will you pass props? You can't pass props from cart to products, right? You can't pass. I'm just giving an example. You can't pass it. Or maybe you can pass some. So in cart, if I go in cart item, I click on here, this information will flow to the app from cart, from this button, it will come to the app.js. From the app.js, I can come to cart. So that means I have to cross two components to reach over here. Right? What I'm trying to say is inside the cart.js, okay, there is this cart item. Okay, inside the cart item, if I go, there is this button, plus minus button, whatever. This is there, right? This plus minus button. I click on the plus button or minus button that is there in the cart item. So when I click on plus or minus button, again handler is not written over here. Maybe we'll write the handler later. But from this cart item is there inside what? Inside the cart module, right? Here it is there, right? Now, if I click on plus or minus, if I want to increase some information I want to pass to the product page, when I click on plus or minus, this information will go where? From cart item is the child of cart.js, right? Because cart item is written inside the cart.js, na? So cart item is the child and cart is the parent. So from the child to the parent information comes, then cart is the child where? Of what? Cart is the child of app, because cart is written inside app, right? So here from cart again information will go to app, and from app again information will go to the products. So 4 steps are there to transfer some data from cart item to the products. Understood? Yes? Sasang, understood?
Yeah, Sanath.
Yes.
So something happens plus minus, I click here. I have to move that information to the app.js, that is the parent, and from there I have to pass to products. Right? So 3 components have to jump. to pass some information from cart item to products. Okay, so this is through prop drilling or context API, whatever. So if we have Redux in place, then whenever I would have clicked on the minus or plus I button over here, that information will immediately go to the Redux to a store. It will update the store, and from the store I can get information at any product, any, maybe I'll get information here. I can get the same information here. Anywhere I can get across the application. Okay, clear? Right?
Clear.
So that is the benefit of Redux. Okay. Now what we'll do is let's so now what I'm trying to show you is do the we'll do this all the setup and everything. So this my cart is there. This my cart, okay, let me do a inspect element. Let's see where the my cart is there. So this my cart is there, where this button is there inside okay, there it is there inside the navigation part, right? Okay, let's go to the folder and let's search about that. Might be there in somewhere in the layout, whatever. Let's see. Because I can't search it directly because there's so many projects are there, but it will not give me the correct result. Cart button, is this the place? My cart is there in the cart button, right? Okay, so this cart button is there inside the cart folder. Okay, so at this place I am doing a click and I'm saying that you show this particular component only when I'm clicking here. Okay, if I click again, then it will not show. That means if I want to see the whatever items are there in the cart, then only I will show it. If I don't want to show it, I don't want to show it, don't want to see it. Okay. Okay, now through Redux we will do it. This is a simple example, so it will be very good to do it through Redux. Okay, now let's close everything. Let's do everything from scratch again. Okay, remove everything. Okay, so for that, what to do for doing anything in Redux, we have to create a slices and the store. These are the two different things. Slices are nothing but part of the state, and the store is where all the slices are combined together. Okay, so now since there are two different functionality that we can see over here. One is the cart related functionality, and one is the items related functionality. So that's the reason we will create two basically files or two slices. One slice related to cart and other slice related to the UI, that means the products. Okay, but before that we have to install all this Redux and Redux Toolkit and everything, right? So I've already installed, but I'll show you how to install so that you can also install nicely. Okay, so what you need to install is, okay, it went over there. Still, so you have to write npm install at Redux JS toolkit, that is one. Okay, then you have to install React Redux. Okay, then you have to Redux. Then third is Redux. These are all libraries that is available, that is made available by the Redux team only. So earlier we were using React Redux to do all this Redux activity, but now latest we are using Redux Toolkit, which is a little bit more advanced form of React Redux only. But you can do all the things that we do in Toolkit using React Redux normally also you can do it. Okay, so these are the libraries that you have to install. Simple. Okay, clear, right? Redux JS Toolkit, React Redux, and Redux.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've already installed, so I'll not install again. So when you install, after you install, just going there only. If you check your package.json, what you will see is you will see the React Redux, Redux, and at Redux JS. Okay, these three things will be installed. Okay. So after installing, what you have to do is you can either start with store or you can so let's create a store. Okay, so that so equals to configure store. So this configure store is part of so this configure store will take an object. Let me import first the configure store. Import configure store from Redux. I forgot from React Redux Redux Toolkit. Redux. Okay, now after creating the store, I have to export the store, right? So that I can use it across the application, right? Export. So this will be the only export. So I'll just write a default. Okay, clear? Now this store will accept what? The store will accept reducer. Okay, and this reducer will be what? The reducers are basically functions which are used to update the state. That means the data that is there in the store. Now, if you want to change the data, that can be done to reducer. Okay, but I'll tell you explain detailedly what is a reducer later. Now this much is clear, right? What I do, I get some class or some object from Redux toolkit that is called configure store, and I create a store using configure store because basically configure store is used to create a store. Simple. Okay, and that will accept a reducer object. We'll fill that later, and we're exporting it. Okay, now since this store creation is complete, now this store will be across the application, right, for the entire application. So that means at the app.js level, I have to attach this store. That means so that it will be across the application. If I don't attach at the app level, not app.js, if the index.js means the main index.js, if I don't do there, then it will not be available across the application. Right? So for that, what I have to do is I have to get the provider. Right? There is a class called provider from whether Redux or Redux React Redux, I forgot from where I get React Redux. Get React Redux. Not sure. We'll see whether it's because remembering all those things is not easier, right? Yeah, from React Redux only. So this provider, what it will do is that it will provide the store across the application. That means I have to, cover the application inside this provider. So I'll bring the app and I'll keep the app inside the provider. Okay, and this provider will have a store, and this store will be our store that we have created just now. Clear? This much what I did, or I'll explain again.
Can you explain again, sir?
Sanat, the previous index.js from where it is coming, like that store where we configured the store.
Nothing. So what I did is I had already created a store folder. Just
Okay,
need to
okay,
create a store
okay.
folder. Simple. Okay.
Individual.
So
Okay.
because in this
Component.
folder only all the Redux related data will be there. So we just create a store folder and one index.js file only.
Okay, it's a
That
store.
index.js file will have the store creation. Okay. Right now, I think that I have not created this slice and everything. Nothing I've created. Only this index.js is there in the store. I just created this store. After creating the store, I link the store to the entire application. So that obviously I have to link it in the index.js file, right? Because that is the main component from where everything works. Because you see here only I have linked the app and everything over here, right? This rendering and everything I'm doing over here. So here I have to, attach our Redux store at this level. Sasang, understood?
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now let me save. Let's see if I'm not getting any error. It is running. Yeah, everything is working fine. Perfectly. Some error is there. What error is this? This thing store does
Just
not valid
one
repeat.
question, Sanat, like why we are doing in index.js, like app component also renders in index. So instead of
But index.js is the main. So whenever you are creating a folder using create React app or white.js, and
yes,
then you create, what is the first component that gets created? Index.js only, right? See,
yes, yes,
index.js, what is the code that you've written here?
yes, yes,
We have
root,
written that
yes,
we are creating a root component React DOM, okay, which is from React DOM. Here, what it does, it creates a root element, and it says that that root element will be the, it is checking the document, and it is checking the document and trying to get a element with a ID called the ID called root, right?
yes,
Which means that there is our index.html file, where it is there
mm,
above. In that index.html file, in the public, if you go in the index.html file, there is something called a root,
root,
right?
yes, ID, yes.
Div ID with a root. So this is because we are creating a single page application. So this root is the place where everything will lie. Okay. Because if you go to our element also and we open the element, there also you will see that there is this div ID as root. Okay.
Okay, okay. Externally, like we are creating for React, that's why we are passing it.
Yes.
Okay,
See,
okay.
here I'm having div ID is root, and inside the root only all our components will lie. Header, main, and everything. Because it's a single page application. Understood?
Yes. Okay.
That's the reason we are creating the provider inside the index.js, and we are, basically we are wrapping this app under the using the provider. So I'm providing the store to across the at the app level, at the top level. Okay. So that
Okay.
all the components will have access to this particular store. Clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now one more thing is you can install the Redux dev tools. So you can go to your browser. This is Edge. You can go to the browser, go to the extensions, and just type Redux tools, and then install it. Okay, and you will get this. Okay. Now if you go, if you've created a store, now you will get that store over here. It's not coming. It's equal. Okay, I think we've not created any reducer net till now, so maybe for that reason it is not happening, but it will appear. Okay, I'll just show you after it appears. What error we get? Okay, it does not have valid reducer. We'll create a reducer. Now, since our task is we'll create two different slice of our two different states or two different slices of our main state. So one related to cart and other related to UI slice. So in the cart slice, what I will do is I'll just create the cart slice over here. Okay. So for creating a slice, we need something called create slice. The create slice is we'll get from toolkit. And here I'll just set here const cart equals to, okay, maybe I'll just write here cart slice. And this create slice, what it will do is, it is a function, it will take an object. It will have a name. So I'll just write here cart. Okay. And it will have an initial state. Okay? And this initial state, so the initial state is this cart related data, right? Maybe the initial state will be what we can have here. Maybe items. Okay. It's an empty array. Right now we have not selected any items, so it's an empty array, for example. Okay. And maybe I just write because I have to so hide that particular component. Na? So cart. Okay. Maybe true initial, right? This is the initial state. Okay. And then what it does, it will have some reducers. And then reducer will be an object. And this reducer will have maybe something like toggle. is a function. Okay. So I'll just write here the function. And this function, what it does is it takes two things. One, it takes the state and it will take the action. I'll explain what is the action later, but right now think about what is the state. Now this state is the state of this particular slice. Means it is the data related to this slice, this particular related to cart only. Okay. Now I said that we can't change the state directly. So if someone is clicking on the so if someone is clicking on the cart, my cart button, what you have to do is right now the state dot show cart equals to not of state dot show cart. So here we are directly changing the state, which is not correct. But in Redux Toolkit, we can do it because we are not mutating the state directly. Here, there is a library called immerges, IMMER in Redux Toolkit, which does it internally. So it looks like we are directly changing the state. In React Redux, this is completely false. It will not happen. In React Redux, you should, if I want to change the state now, what you should do is, so it will be like something like state dot show cart, okay, equals to something like this. You have to write. So this is a Boolean, right? So it will be so state dot show cart comma the new value, whatever value you'll get will be show cart or whatever, maybe action dot action dot show cart something. Okay, and this will be the form of an array, and we are destructuring the array. That like this would have done in React Redux in this manner. So here what we are doing is here there is a value. I take a copy of the original value. I'm not mutating it. I'm taking the copy of the original value. I'm replacing the copy with this value. That is how see the spread operator what it does. It takes it shows you the original value, and then here I'm using an array to do it, right, destructuring it, but I'm just replacing the original value with a new value, but not changing the existing value. So I shouldn't write, not write. So in this manner you have to write in React Redux. Okay, but in Redux Toolkit we are directly changing it because there is a library called immerges. Okay, internally they change the state. Okay, although it is looking like I am changing the state directly, but we are not doing it because immerges does it. Understood this one? Yes or no?
No, Sumit, I didn't get this. Can you explain this again?
Yeah, I've explained nicely, man. Which one did not get?
That show cart one, show cart one.
What you did not understood?
I mean, that state and action, where from you're getting that one?
I have not passed anything. When I
Okay.
call this function, I will explain you what we are getting in action, what we are getting in state. And just now
Okay.
explaining what is state and what is action.
Okay. I just want to know
State,
where from you're getting that. Okay.
not when I call this toggle reducer, then I will explain you how it is coming. But here I'm
Okay.
just telling you what is the state. This state refers to the state of this particular cart. For the entire cart, whatever data is related to cart, everything will be linked to this particular state. That means this is the initial state and this is the updated state, whatever I'm changing. Okay. And
Okay.
you
Yeah.
will not have only two items. There can be thousands of properties here. Okay. And if I want to change any value of the property, I have to do in the reducer, I have to change it. So the task of the reducer is to update the state. And the reducer will be triggered by the action. Okay. It will be triggered by the action. The action will happen only when you dispatch this. So suppose I'm clicking the button, that means I'm dispatching a message, that is the action. And for every action, there will be a reducer. So for the toggle reducer, there will be a toggle action. Okay. And when I'm dispatching the action, this reducer will catch that action, and it will take the payload from the action if you are passing some payload, and that payload will be used to update the state. Understood?
Yeah. Okay.
That is what it is happening here. Okay. I'm just writing the reducer, so you are getting confused. I'll just write the action, then you will understand. But
Okay.
saying
Yeah.
that you shouldn't do like this in React Redux, but in Redux Toolkit we are allowed to do this because Emerge.js does the changing the state. Okay. Now this is the toggle. Okay. Now this is done. I have created a cart slice. Now what I want to do is I just want to export the cart slice. Export cart slice. Okay. What is happening? Exporting. Okay. This is the default export. Along with that, I have to export the action. So for every reducer, there will be an action automatically created internally with the same name of the reducer. So we have a reducer with name as toggle. There will be an action created, action method created with the same name of toggle only. Okay. So I'll just write export cart actions equal to cart slice dot actions. So I can't write default here, right? So I'll just write here const export const readwork. Okay. Or else I could have done in a bracket over here, that also could have. So basically we are exporting what? The slice as well as the action related to it. Okay. Now this slice we created. Now this slice, that means this particular reducer or this slice should be linked to the store. Okay. Then only okay, let's what we'll do is that let's do the action part, then we'll understand how this is linked. Okay. Now I will go to the cart item. This is the place where that is there, right? Not the place. Is it here? No, not here. Where is that button? Button, I think here. Here. So what is the task here? I click on the my cart button. I have to dispatch an action. I have to tell that, okay, I click this button, you can hide the component. Okay. That means from here, the information should go to the store, and from the store, that information should go to the component. That is the cycle. Okay. Which means that this is the button, is the my cart. I have to create a handler on click. I have to create click handler. Click handler. Okay. So this click handler will be called, and this const click handler will be a arrow function. Okay. And this will be dispatching a this will be dispatching toggle action. Okay. But what the dispatch is, this dispatch we have to use, create this copy of the use dispatch. So basically use dispatch is a, like there is this configure tool is there, right? Similarly, use dispatch is a object in React Redux which is used to dispatch a action. Okay. Now this use, I just created a new use dispatch. Dispatch is a new method, a new object of use dispatch. And when I click on this particular button, I have to, so this toggle, it is not understanding what the toggle is. So you have to import the toggle. Import cart actions. So I have to write here cart actions dot toggle. Okay. This one understood? Or didn't understand? Basically, what I'm doing, I'm having this button, my cart. When I click on the button, I am dispatching a action. Simple. Okay. So how to create a dispatch? I have to create a copy of the use dispatch class, and this use dispatch is found inside the React Redux. Okay. And what I'm dispatching? I am dispatching this particular action that we already created. That means here I have created this reducer. When I create a reducer, I create an equivalent action with the same name as the reducer. That means toggle only. That's the reason. When I get the cart action, in the cart actions, there will be a, so if I hover over the cart action, you'll see the toggle, right? So I'm exporting this toggle. Now, whenever I'm dispatching this toggle, in the cart slice, what will happen is that it will understand that, okay, the toggle action has been dispatched. So in the toggle reducer, it will catch that action particular, and then it will change this particular show cart value. If it is true, it will be false. If it is false, it will be true. The only thing now is we have to use this show cart in the component where we have to where we have using which we can either show or hide the component. Okay, but before that, this card slice has to be linked to our store. Then only it should this. So simply, dispatching the action will not, this will not be simply dispatching the action. The reducer, it will change the state, but this particular state is not linked to our main state, na? Because the main state is over here, right? Guys, you are understanding, or I'm just simply blabbering? Understanding, right?
Yes, yes, Sanat, I am
Shashank,
understanding.
understanding?
Yeah, following. Yeah.
See, this is the main state or main store, whatever. Store state, same thing only. This is the main store. We have not linked this particular slice of state to our main store. We have not linked. Have you linked anything? Have you written here create card slice? No, right? So since
No.
we've not linked, even if we pass some data from this particular card button, it will come to the slice. Okay, but in the in the card slice it might change. But this since card slice is not linked to the store, so this information will not pass throughout the application. It will not be passing because the store is linked to where the store was linked to our index.js file. Now here it is linked. That means at the app level we have connected the store, right? The store is connected at the app level, but this store is not connected to our slice yet. That's the reason this, and for the entire for the entire application, the so-called well that we have changed will not be available. Understood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which means that what we have to do, we have to link our cart slice to our store. Okay. So here I just write here cart as a name, and I will write here cart slice. So now I have linked our cart slice with the name as cart to the store. So if I change anything here in the cart slice using the reducer, because the reducer is responsible for changing the state. This is the initial state. This is the change state. Then now it will be available across the application. Okay. Clear? Now, so let's check whether it's will it be available across the application or how we'll check. We can check it by going to the browser and doing the string. Okay, some error is there. What there? Let's check. Use dispatch is not a constructor, so I think we are using this new keyword, right? So might be that is the reason. what it is saying. Might be in this manner. Store does not have valid reducer. And combined with okay, something yeah, there is something called combine reducer also to combine all the reducer that we'll see later. But yeah, okay. So here in the Redux, oh, why it is not visible here? It's okay, cart, yeah. So if I click on the state, why it is not coming? Okay, initially it is empty. When I click on, is something passing. Really, so what the tree, chart, state and type. Type is cart toggle. Oh, it is not showing. Why it is not showing? It should show. Okay, anyway. We will know once, maybe we'll log something, then we can know it, whether we are able to. Basically, it should be a chart like structure, we form. Okay, so let's, while explaining, I explained that I click on the button. I should get that data. That means the show cart will be changed over here. So cart will be, if it is true, it should be false when I change it. Now, if I go to where it is, so if I have to go to our app.js, here I want to show the cart only when show cart. Show cart. But the show cart is what? The show cart is what we don't know, right? So I'll just tell the show cart as will use the use selector. So the use selector is also part of React Redux. These use selectors will provide the entire app level state. And from the entire app level state, I want to use the cart state. Inside that, the show cart is there. Right? That information I need. Now, this show cart, if it is true, then we will show the cart. If it is false, we will not show the cart. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's save and let's check whether it's working or not. Some errors. Okay, so something error you've done, what we've written here. Show cart. This is show cart. State.cart only. I think our linking has not been correct. Hmm. Correct only. Why it is not working? Sometime at one place, if you do mistake, it will not work at all. Cannot produce undefined reading SOCART app.js 7.1. That means it is not understanding what is SOCART here, right? It's not understanding that. See, at app.js, our global state is available, right? So why it is not understanding? It will work. Okay. State.cart. Okay, so ideally this should work. I don't know why it is not working. Maybe some mistake we have done. Let me check. This so cart is true. Um, Suppose default cart slice, cart actions, so this slice will be provider, and this is the stores. Configure stores. Okay, wait. One problem we've done. This would be class site or reducer because we're linking the reducer, na? I'm reducing the entire slice for that reason. Some more problem. Okay. And here. What is saying? So what do we do? I think this will be that is just mere representation. So the naming also little bit. This is correct only. Card slice dot reducer. Then card slice reducer is represented as a card. And then why it is not working? See? You see that this is the chart. So our state, the tree you see. This cart state is created. Initial will be items as empty and so cart as true. Okay. And initially, okay. Whenever I click on the button, na, this show card will be changed to false. This you will get it when you install Redux tools. Just so many times this is getting called me for that reason something is happening, and that will be because not able to get why it is happening. See, so many times this is getting called. Hmm. 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 Some issue. But this is the complete code, okay? We've already written the code. I think the store level something is happening. Link the reducer. Correct only. One more time. Reducer only, right? So reducer will accept a check part, and then this is nice. Not reduce. Okay. But you understood, right? What we did today? Both of you understood? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Yes, Sunny. Maybe in infinite loops it's going.
No, not infinite. There's something I'm missing here. Here only, whether we have linked it properly or not, maybe this is reducers or combined reducer, I'm forgetting. Because combined reducer is also used, but combined reducer is used in Redux, React Redux, not Redux Toolkit. Because in combined reducer will be combining all the reducers, but here in Redux Toolkit, we don't need to use that. So this is reducer, but this is spelling mistake you do not, this is reducers, that is also correct. That's the last thing I would have showed, clicking how to change it. That is only not working. This tool is from where? Is it linked properly? Hmm. Hmm. So one spelling mistake you do, it will create a lot of problems here. So that is one problem. Okay, but you understood, right? This one I'll just upload to YouTube. Okay, just check it out and just try to, basically what you have to do is just create one React application, create two components, and try to pass data from one component to another component using Redux. First step is install the Redux toolkit. Then next step is create the store, then create the slice. Okay, for that particular, two different slices for two different components. Okay, link both the slices in the store. Okay, like this. So one more slice if you would have created now, suppose UI. So it will be UI slice dot reducer like this. Like this, you can combine multiple slices and then see whether you are able to transfer data from one component to another component. Simple. Okay, just try it. Maybe in the next class, I will go more deep. I'll just solve this problem and go more deep and create, work on more functionalities related to this particular project. Okay.
Then a slice means different data to different.
Nothing.
Like
Slice means part of related to functionality, part of the state.
part of the state. Okay. Related.
Cart state. So all the data related to cart will be there inside.
Okay.
Maybe address state. So all the data related to address will be there over there.
Okay.
Item state, item detail state. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. Any other doubt? No. Okay. So I'm clear, right?
Yeah, clear, Sarath. I will go to the recording once. Yeah.
Okay, man. Chalo. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
So tomorrow Node.js class is there.
Okay,
Node.js, don't miss it. Okay. We'll do some.
okay,
So
okay.
you're going to alternate between front end and back end on Saturdays and Sundays, is it, Sanath?
Earlier also I was doing like that only.
Oh, okay, okay,
Okay? Like that we will do.
okay.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sana.